Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed. Today I'm joined by my friends Baptistin, Reece and Apollo. In today's podcast, we're going to be exploring the transformation of East London through the lens of artistic regeneration and nostalgia.
I mean, when we think about regeneration and nostalgia, I feel like the idea of gentrification is really interesting to me because I come from a perspective of, like, I don't really mind gentrification only because I'm not within the East London community. Like, as an artist, from an artistic perspective, I look at it like when you see artists like Banksy, Stick, Ben, those things attract tourists. Do you know what I mean? It makes people want to come and spend money within East London.
Yeah, because people would go to like a particular place of East London just to see a Banksy, graffiti work when like normally they wouldn't not go there at all.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
So can you tell us a bit about how maybe it's helped you because you're an artist from London?
Yeah, because being from East London now, I haven't grown up here, but being from East London now, there's been so many more opportunities with this regeneration and this focus on arts and building the arts within East London.
So it's definitely had a positive impact on you.
Oh, definitely. I can't really complain.
But we're gonna talk about some negative impacts, and one of the biggest negative impacts is definitely the housing prices that gentrification has caused.
Oh.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you said. Like recently, I saw a statistic online. Since 2000, house prices in areas such as Shoreditch and Hackney have risen by over 300%, which if you think about it, is just like
That's
really
insane.
mad.
So,
Pricing out many long-time residents,
Yeah, and it prices out people that have been here for years. Like the Jewish community has a rich historical background coming here in the 19th century. So there's a Bangladesh community coming in the 20th century, and it's pricing out these people that make the parts of East London, and it just becomes a place for private renters.
I can agree with that statement as well, because especially me myself, growing up in East London, I've seen a lot of local businesses go out. Like George's Tavern was somewhere in Stepney where I feel like a lot of the East London community came together, and the gentrification really affected that business, and I really think that that's something that is a negative of the gentrification and transformation of East London.
Yeah, when I started to see transformation in East London was around the 2012 Olympics time. It was almost like, they got one of the worst areas in London and made it all good to show like the world, East London's nice and stuff. And it was kind of like it was a bit performative of like trying to make a place like just look nice just for the Olympics. But it has created, lots of infrastructure, and it has been, quite good.
do you know what? That's so crazy to me because like when I look at East London, I'm looking at places like what's it called? Is it Whitechapel Gallery? And that helps a lot of emerging artists. It makes East London a cultural hotspot when it comes to arts. So that when I'm hearing all this, it's not weird to me, but it's interesting seeing the other side of the coin because there's
like
always two sides.
Very
to a
big
story.
divide.
Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's crazy. So would you say gentrification displaces people culturally, like the people of the community?
100%. Like, coming from me, I've lived in an area of East London where I feel like there's a whole leap of like different cultures in that one specific area, and that events happen in that area that pushes everyone together. A good example of that is the East London Film Festival. It's a place where people from all different backgrounds of East London come together. They showcase their films and like their culture as well. And I feel like now they're taking away that like identity and the understanding of that by like gentrifying these areas, which kind of takes away from the culture that's, that was once there.
That's what. So what do you think? Sorry, what do you think about like? What do you think about the idea of a new culture coming in, like with the arts? Would you see the perspective that although yes, an old culture is being stripped away, but a new culture is being put in, and is this new culture fake art? Is it plastic or is it still authentic? But what do you guys think about that?
I mean, probably kind of what I said before. Like, I feel like a new culture is good because not everything can be kept the same way it was before. I feel like the idea of gentrification also ties in with this, being that you're going out with the old and bringing the new inside. Like, so I feel like it does have its pros and it has its cons.
I think there's a lot of the residents in East London, I don't think they're like particularly happy with this. Like there's like different organisations such as like Save Brick Lane that advocate to protect their area, to keep their identity of, and like
yeah, because
they're
Brick
big
Lane,
advocates
you know, rent
of
prices have just
gentrification.
gone through the
Yeah.
roof, you know. And, you know, they would prefer to put in trendy coffee shops and stuff like that instead of, you know, investing into the community. You know, London is played a crucial role. It's been, you know, it's from areas like the Docklands, it's been central to global trade. You know, from the 18th and 19th century, there's a rich history of East London. And, you know, it seems like it kind of get diminished, you know, with gentrification in a certain aspect.
I mean, do you know what? I hate to be, again, the devil's advocate, but like, we spoke about, you know, rising rents and all that kind of stuff. But like, there's things like the Bow Arts Initiative that makes it a lot more accessible for young artists that are trying to find studio spaces to create. So that could be a good part of gentrification.
Yeah, so it's got a positive for the artists, but how many normal people are artists and how many normal people are just, you know,
So it's a very small minority.
Yeah, very small minority that will benefit from it. And then you could also put in, you know, private renters and stuff. They may get nicer houses to go and rent from, but then it's like kind of making a divide from like artists and rich people to like, you know, just poor normal working people that are getting pushed out of these areas.
That's so true, because some people say that art is used as a tool for gentrification, so it's like almost a disguise, like, oh yeah, we're bringing in art, we're bringing in art, just to make people, lull people to sleep, be like, oh no, it's okay, they're bringing in art, but really
it's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
That's what I'm saying. Bringing in the art brings in the revenue, and bringing in the revenue is by having people come into this space and bring in their ideas, you know, their culture into that space as well. So most definitely.
Man, that's so crazy.
In my personal opinion, I think there's more negatives than pros in terms of the local community. I don't think it doesn't benefit the local community too much, because these houses, they're not for the local community, are they? The people that live there, they're not going to be able to buy these houses. Most of them are being forced out of their houses. So
yeah, you're either forced out of your house or you're paying so much in rent. You know, for normal ordinary people, it's just impossible to even get onto the property market, because, you know, all of these infrastructures are just not made for the right people, and the government could definitely do something to make it better for normal people.
No, I agree. And that's the thing, because East End was once known as a place for like the working class. Like your average working class family would most likely come from the East End, you know, East London. Now that's kind of being stripped away from us, and it's somewhere that people not on the same kind of money can now stay. It's not like that idea of a working class area anymore.
Because like East London used to be famous for like markets like Spitalfields and Brick Lane, and now it's, you know, maybe more famous for like things like Stratford and Olympics, which are kind of just new things. It's not very historical. Yeah,
it advertises for more nowadays, like business owners. You know, they want their own apartments, you know, for their businesses. It doesn't really attract the local community that lived there
not anymore.
for years.
No, it's definitely just much more hard for, you know, normal business owners, you know, because it's just like lots of chains and stuff, and it's very tough, you know. But there is definitely pros and cons to gentrification.
Because, as I said, it helps young artists that are emerging and are trying to make a name for themselves within the community. It makes East London a cultural melting pot for arts and music. But as you said, that could just be used as a tool.
I agree. So I guess all in all, it kind of leads us up to like the ultimate question: is, you know, the gentrification and transformation in East London something that has a negative impact or something that has a more positive impact?
I think, looking at the question, I think everybody here could have a different sort of response, because I think it's very much, you know, it's a personal, you know, question, and like everyone will just have a different response to it. You know, some will find it positive, some will find it negative, some will find it both aspects. But, you know, if you're a rich up and coming artist, it's going to be great for you. But, you know, maybe if you're not just a normal, you know, everyday worker, 9-to-5 worker, it might be, you know, negative. And if you're a community member that's, you know, been here for a while, it's going to be maybe negative because your community is getting pushed